Okay, hello, year nines now, wow. Cool, so what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to record this video. It's going to give you a run through of what your first project's going to be, your first main bit of work for Year 9 Digital Media, and the iBook that I've made for you, which will be used as kind of like your main resource. And what you'll find too, for you guys doing it this year is obviously we'll be doing a lot of kind of build on stuff that you've done last year, but a lot of new, really kind of creative stuff. So we'll also be doing lots of kind of like little mini tutorials in class too, or stuff where I'll record lessons at home, so you can watch them really quick, like 10-minute lessons that you can watch them and kind of get the idea of what we're doing. So there'll be a lot of that kind of stuff as well. So it's not just going to be this one thing, but. Let's start. So what you're going to be looking at is this is the iBook textbook that I've made for you. So I'll email you the links to that so you can download it now and get it on your iPad so you can go through it and start checking it out before we get in. So let's just give that a click. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, it starts off with a little video at the start. Let me just increase the size there. Which you can watch later. It'll make sense. So you won't watch that now. You can watch that a little bit later. Okay, so let's just maximize that. Excellent. So this is what we're looking at. So we'll be using Illustrator and Photoshop, mostly Illustrator, which is something you probably haven't used before. I know we didn't do it last year with you guys. We used Photoshop quite a lot, and this is kind of the next step up. So Illustrator, to kind of sum it up really quickly, Photoshop is kind of for editing stuff that you've already done. Okay, so Photoshop, you don't really use it for creating artwork as much. I mean, you do, but not as much for creating original pieces of work. Okay, that's where Illustrator comes in. That's what you use for creating stuff, and Photoshop is kind of for doing touch-ups, which I'll explain later. So if we have a look at the book, a bit of an intro on what we're doing in this unit. Okay, we're talking about vectors, which will make no sense now, but it'll make sense soon. And what you're going to be doing with those vectors. Essentially, you're going to be making t-shirts. Okay, so you're going to be designing them, you're going to be designing the image that's on there, you're going to be creating the image, you're then going to be putting it on an actual t-shirt template, and you're going to be making these things. And I'm going to show you a couple of sites, Threadless being one, where you can actually, you upload your created finished t-shirt, okay, people vote on it, and then if it gets voted on the most, they will actually make it for you, and you will get money. So, and by that I mean you'll obviously split it with me. So that's kind of the gist of what we'll be doing here. So in this book you'll see a bit of an overview of Illustrator, okay, the workspace here, very similar to Photoshop. So that's the cool thing with all of Adobe stuff. Their tool set, their layout is pretty much consistent across all their products. So for the Photoshop stuff that we did in Year 8 and even the Flash stuff, it's very, very similar. Okay, so that's that. Then here, a little video on what Illustrator is. Again, this is in your book, so you can play it straight away. So a real quick rundown on what it is and how it works and what it's about, so you can watch that in your own time. And the design process, which is really important. So this design process is basically the process you go through to actually make a finished product. Okay, so I'm really big on the design process in industry. Like, basically, if you want to do this as a job and make some cash, it's really important, and the ways you do that. And then we're going to talk about pixels and vectors and what the heck they are, because vectors are really, really important with Illustrator, and they're really cool. So we'll talk about that. This here is basically the fundamentals of good t-shirt design. And these are a whole bunch of designers, some of these guys I know, that make t-shirts for a living. That's their job. They sit at home and they make t-shirts, and they're making some good dollars. So have a read through this. We're not going to do that in class. So what I want you to do is read through this section. It's only a few pages. Check out the links. Check out the images, the stuff that these guys are doing. Oops, we'll go back there. See the kind of work that they're doing and how they're doing it. And these guys talk about their processes and what they think is really, really important. So what I want you to do is read this section, okay? And that way when we come into class in a week or two, you'll be ready to roll, okay? And I've got some other videos here. These are actually pretty cool. These are from Glenn's Tees, and they're kind of showing how he makes his, if so, enlarge that, how he actually makes his t-shirts from scratch in Illustrator. So these are actually really, really cool. They're really fast, and they'll make no sense now, but eventually you'll be able to do this maybe not as fast, but you'll be able to do this as well, which is really cool because it's an awesome program. So there's that section. Then the next section here is what we'll be doing. One of the first things we'll be doing in class. It's actually a little tutorial that I've got in there, just step by step. It's basically telling you, right, how you will create this little guide. Now I've got all the images, I've got the sketch actually as well, and I've got the finished product, so you can sit there and it shows you how to make an actual little vector character in Illustrator really quickly, so that's kind of cool. And then there's some extra resources here as well. So that's kind of the first part. And then here is your actual assessment. So like we did last year, you know, where we do a bunch of little projects, you know, and create a bunch of little things to get your skills and get your idea of using the tools. Very similar to last year, because you did that really well in year 8. We're going to be doing that again. So a bunch of little things, and then that will build up into doing this one project, okay, which you will then get marked on. And this is a project here, so it's actually t-shirt design. So you're going to be designing a t-shirt, all right? Now, I've given you no limit on what you can do. You know, it might just be a really cool center image or a logo, or you might design a whole shirt back and front. It's completely up to you. And now I've said t-shirt here because then I'll be actually giving you the t-shirt mock-ups. Okay, so the actual final templates will be like a t-shirt. But I also have, because I used to do these back in the day, I've also got, you know, hoodies and jumpers and singlets and stuff like that if you want to design something for that instead. But I'm using t-shirts because they're kind of a bit more universal, and Threadless uses t-shirts mostly. So that's why we've done that. But if you want to do a hoodie, you can. So go through this if you want to have a read through this, because this is the actual project. And I'll run you through this again in class, obviously, so we can ask questions. But this is kind of what I want you to do. And again, like last year, I haven't given you, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you must do this, must do this, must do this, because that's no fun, okay? And it's not really very creative. So what you'll be doing is, here's kind of what I want, you know, this is the steps that I want you to do. And that's kind of what I want you to create, and use the skills that we developed building up to this, okay? And that's what you'll do. Again, I've still got success criteria here of what I want to see, and another little tutorial here that shows you, kind of how to put your design, when it's finished, into Photoshop and actually make it look like a cool finished t-shirt as well. So that's all there as well. And then the very last section here, this is all about Threadless, okay? So this is about this website, this company that will make your shirt, okay, and hopefully this will work out really well. So you'll design your shirt. When we get to this point, all the designs that you guys do, if you want to, we'll upload, and we'll actually get people to vote on them, and hopefully we'll see if someone can get them made, because it doesn't cost you any money, and you can actually make some money. So check Threadless out, watch the video if you want, go to the site as well, and have a look at what's there. It's really cool because you can see like the top 10 shirts, you know, top 20 shirts, see what was voted on and what won, okay, and that might help you in your design, in what you want to do, and how you want to kind of, I'm just going to pause that now, how you want to pick your design. And you'll find a lot of the designs that win are quirky, kind of weird things. Some are really cool designs, some are quite simple. So yeah, it's kind of up to you. But look, at the end of the day, I want you to design a shirt that, you know, you would wear. Or I would wear, you know, that's the key. And who knows, maybe one of you guys will find that this is it. This is what you want to do. You're awesome at designing shirts. And from here, like I started designing shirts, you know, you could go into fashion design, clothes, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a little gateway into that. So that is your first unit in Year 9, digital media. So again, please download the iBook that I made for you. Go through it, read those chapters before class. So basically, going to go through all of this here. What I would really like you to do, whoops, I've just gone back to the start. The main chapters to read, have a go through all of it, but read this chapter here before you come in, so it starts to kind of give you an idea of what you're doing. And also, I would have a look at this tutorial really quickly. I mean, you can't do this until you have Illustrator. Have a read through here, jump on the Threadless and have a look at that. And at the very last page, I've got a whole bunch of references. Now, these are just stuff that I've used in this book, but also a whole bunch of links to design contest sites. There's a stack. It's not just Threadless. There are stacks of t-shirt design contest sites. So have a look through all of these and see what is popular. You know, what people are voting on and what you would wear. And that's your first unit. So everything will be up now, obviously, because you're watching this video. You can download the iBooks directly from my new website. Yay, promotion. and get them ready before you come in. I'll also obviously have these at school too, so in case you have any trouble with the net at home, they'll be here for you as well, and I'll go through all of this again, so don't stress out if you haven't got time or you don't want to go through this, or you're, so I'm on holidays, I don't want to do schoolwork. That's cool as well, but it's all there, and it's ready to go. So shoot me an email over the next couple of weeks if you have any questions, because I'm more than happy for you guys. I know some of you are really keen in this and you've got the software already. You can start, like, it's all here, ready to roll. So you can start and get cracking, if you can do some more designs to do a whole range of shirts, that's really, really cool. So give that a go. Shoot me an email with any questions, and I'll help you out, and I'll see you in like a couple of weeks, like 10 days or something. So Bon Jovi.